I've listened to hundreds of missing person cases. Static, wind, a panicked voice. They all start the same. But I've never heard a man die while the place he described vanished from every record we have. The logs of Ranger Colin Ward were transmitted from coordinates that don't exist, and I believed none of it until I saw the light in the window between the trees. My name is Special Agent Alan Harris, Investigative Services Branch, National Park Service. Our unit handles federal-level investigations inside the U.S. National Park System, everything from poaching and assaults to missing personnel. 6 days ago, Ranger Colin Ward disappeared during a standard patrol in Sector 17B, deep within the Appalachian Range, near the old mining boundary. His truck was found locked beside the access trail, engine cold, radio still tuned to the Ranger channel. No signs of struggle. His GPS beacon sent a final ping at 2:14 a.m., and then went dead. There was no distress call, only a chain of short-range radio transmissions automatically saved by the dispatch server. 11 recordings in total. When I started reviewing them, I expected a routine exposure case. A tired man lost in fog, maybe a fall. But his tone, it never slipped. It stayed calm all the way through. Too calm.
Morning check-in. Ward reporting. Starting west perimeter sweep. Sky clear. 45 degrees. Heard movement near the ridge. Likely deer. Trail markers intact. Over.
He sounded relaxed, almost cheerful. The kind of confidence that only comes from knowing every inch of the forest around you.
Cross the lower bridge. Water levels up a foot since last week. Need new boards. Couple are soft. No human tracks past checkpoint 3. Over.
Nothing out of place. I could picture him walking that narrow bridge, sunlight through fog, wind humming on the mic.
Lunch break. Nothing unusual, aside from some old snare wires. Removed them. Heading north slope after this. Over.
3 calm entries, every one of them painting a man alone, confident, methodical. Then came the 4th.
Dispatch. Ward here. Not sure if your maps are current, but I'm seeing a roof through the trees. West-northwest, about 80 yards off trail. Looks like metal. Too clean for any of the old mining shacks. Checking it out. Might be an old ranger post, though it's not on file. Sending coordinates now. If I'm not back on signal in 20 minutes, send a call through. Probably nothing. Over.
I paused the recording. The coordinates blinked on my screen, a neat string of numbers automatically logged by the system. I cross-checked them against federal survey data. There was nothing there. No structure, no ruins, no service road. Only a wall of green canopy on every satellite layer. Still, he'd seen something. A roof reflecting light where no light should be. I pressed play on the next file. The system tag read, Recording number 5, source, inside structure. That's where his voice changed. The file opened with a burst of static. Then his voice, still calm, but quieter, slower, like he'd started whispering to himself.
Standing outside the structure. 2 stories, wooden frame, paint mostly gone. Windows boarded from the inside. Roof looks reinforced, newer than the rest. Doors half open. No sound, no smoke. Entering to check for squatters. Over.
He still sounded methodical, like a man ticking off boxes on a list. But there was a faint edge now. Curiosity, maybe caution. He didn't know it yet, but something inside that house had been waiting a very long time.
Inside. Air stale. Smells like dust and metal. Everything's covered in thick powder, but there are footprints. Big ones, maybe size 10, at least a week old. Furniture's under sheets. There's an oil lamp on the table. Clean, polished. If this place was abandoned, someone came back recently. Moving further in. Over.
The lamp detail stuck with me. Every ranger knows what old oil smells like. This one, he said, was clean. That meant someone had been there. Recently.
Found basement door at end of hallway. Metal frame. Hinges rusted, but not broken. Smells stronger here. Iron and something chemical. Heading down. Over.
His boots clanged on the metal steps, echoing off the walls. You could almost hear how narrow the stairwell was, sound bouncing back too close, too tight.
In the basement. Big room. Concrete walls, cold air. No windows. Tables with straps. Looks like medical restraints. Rusted tools. A scalpel. Bone saw. Jars. Some still sealed. There's something on one of the tables. Stains. Dark red. Dried. Looks old. Might be blood. Found remains near the far wall. Human. Partial skeleton. Spine curved wrong. Dispatch, I think this place was used for experiments. There's a notebook too. Faded handwriting. Lists of names. Reading a few. Richard Halper, 1952. Mary Collins, no date. These are all missing persons. These names shouldn't be here. Dispatch, do you copy? Over.
I froze. Those names were real. Halper was a ranger reported missing decades ago. His file marked resolved, body recovered. But that couldn't be. His remains had been buried miles away from here.
Heard noise upstairs. Door slammed. Trying exit. Locked. Something's moving above me. Heavy footsteps. Slow. Knotted animal. Dispatch. Confirming. Unlocked in. Requesting backup. Over.
His breathing grew louder in the mic. Shallow, fast, but contained. The dispatcher's attempts to respond came through as a broken hiss. The system flagged multiple bursts of interference. Nothing intelligible. Then a faint metallic sound. Rhythmic, scraping against the floorboards above, like metal dragged across wood.
Still no contact. Getting a hissing noise now, coming from vents near the ceiling. Smells sharp, metallic, eyes watering. Dispatch, possible gas leak. Can't breathe right. My head's spitting, vision's swimming. Feels like pressure inside my chest. Trying to reach stairs. Air's thicker. Feels heavy. There's someone. I see him. At the top of the stairs. Tall, wearing a gas mask. Just standing there, watching me. He's coming down, step by step. Masks fogging in the light. If anyone hears this...
Static, a single breath, the mic hits the floor. That was the last log. The final second of audio was a hollow hum. No words, no movement, just the slow fade of the signal dying. The timestamp read 2:47 p.m., less than 40 minutes after he'd first mentioned seeing that roof. I sat there, staring at the monitor, realizing I'd been holding my breath again. Every ranger in that district was accounted for. No off-duty patrols, no hikers, no equipment logs matching that structure. Nothing. Whatever he'd found down there, it wasn't supposed to be found. The next morning, I packed my field kit and drove towards Sector 17B. I reached Sector 17B before noon. The forest was silent. No wind, no birds, just the low hum of insects somewhere far off. My GPS showed I was within half a mile of the coordinates where Ranger Ward sent his last log. I parked near the old access road and continued on foot. The terrain matched his description. Dense undergrowth, steep ground, and a smell of iron in the soil. But there was no sign of a building. No foundation, no wood, no debris. Just trees, moss, and silence. I searched the area for nearly 2 hours, circling out from the last known coordinates. Nothing. Even the air felt untouched, undisturbed, as if no one had ever stepped here at all. By the time I got back to the truck, the light was fading. I marked the spot, took one last photo of the empty clearing, and got inside. The engine started on the second try. As I began logging the report, my GPS screen flickered. Coordinates jumped back and forth, then froze completely. The system clock reset to 2:46 p.m., the exact time of Colin Ward's final transmission. A cold wave ran through me. For a moment, I thought it was just a glitch. Then I noticed something through the windshield. Far out between the trees, a faint, warm glow. Orange, steady, flickering like firelight. I grabbed my binoculars. Through the glass, I saw it clearly. A roofline, a window, and behind that window, a single lamp burning in the dark. No reflection, no mistake. A house. The same one Ward described, standing exactly where I'd just walked, in the middle of nowhere. I lowered the binoculars. The light was still there, unmoving, waiting. I looked back at the clock on the dashboard, 2:46 p.m., and then the engine died.